Hello, so welcome to How to Make an Anime Part 2. I'm aware that on the last episode it took a little bit to get into it, so I want to get straight into it. But firstly, if you hear any noise in the background, pay it no mind. I'm in my studio and it's an active creative place. So first of all, what you're watching right now is some more scenes from the first animation, and it was a pretty close call between animation number 1 and animation number 2. And in fact, I'm going to end up working with both the people who made those. But what I am making is I'm making prototypes with both of them. Obviously, because it's a very expensive and time-consuming thing to do, I just figured that this is the best way. So we're going to get some samples, and what I want to do is show you the progress on the first sample that we have. So I'm going to spare you all of my crappy drawings and my long emails describing stuff, and go straight into some of the images that we've got. So the first image that you're seeing now is the first sketch that I got for one of the characters, and this isn't actually the main character. This is the mother of the main character, and as you can see, it's in a sketch format, but I was really excited when I first seen it. Now, there were a few problems and we went backwards and forwards, and that is the first thing that I would say, is that if you're going to go on the same journey that I'm going, then the likelihood is you're going to be working with a lot of different people to bring one idea together. And you have to have that idea solid in your head. And it sounds obvious, but what I mean is, when you're working with creative people like to put their creative flair, and that is exactly why you should be working with them, so that they can do that. But ultimately, you've got to just reel it back into the actual world that works. So there are a few things wrong with this one, and mainly the sword is actually like it's all good, man. Yeah. So yeah, it's obviously like a key feature, like it is in a lot of animes. So that is where we ended up getting these images, and this is like I suppose this is like an artist's way of showing you the highlights and exactly what it is that you're getting in terms of an outline. So it was very important, certain aspects, like I'm saying, the swords and some of the key features that they have. So this one wasn't quite correct, so then I ended up getting this one sent back, which was where we needed to be. So then I kind of said, yep, go with that. After that, I ended up with this image, and this is the color image, and there are a few things wrong in terms of the details, and it was relating mostly to the characters in the background, but also to the horse. There are only unicorns in this world. So then we ended up here with the final image that I was very happy with, and you may notice from the thumbnail of the last video. So this was one artist living in one part of the world, and this was the concept art for this character in this particular scene, and this is what I was going to use for my prototype animation. So then I had to send this image over with the details to the animator, and what I ended up is with this coming back as the character design. So as you can see, this character does look pretty sick, and I really liked what he did with the clothes, but it's not the same character. I liked it, but it's just not the same person. So I had to kind of go back, get over the language barrier and explain as best as I could as the essential parts. And then I ended up with this sheet here, which was actually him essentially describing in pictures what he thought I meant, and by giving me these options, it meant that I could actually describe it back, and he got the sword perfect. I'd actually gone to and fro with so many different people, and this was the first time that I'd actually seen the sword and was like, that is exactly what is in my head, after seeing it in action. So this is like going to be the template whenever I show it. So it's cool. The character looks right, the clothing looks right, the weapon looks right. And so then what I ended up sending back was, from all of the concept sketches that he sent me, I created a storyboard. So just like on this image here, when there were loads of different options, there were loads of different options in terms of poses. So I stuck them all together, and then I ended up creating this storyboard, which kind of went through what it is that I wanted. And then I ended up with this. So as you can see, very, very, very early stages, but very exciting at the same time to be able to see it in motion. And essentially this really is the start of something coming to life. So Yeah, this is where we are. My anime journey, part 2, the prototype. Leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you want me to go into. I think that my next episode's actually going to either be on storyline or main characters, to get more into like how I'm developing the story and why I'm doing that. If there's anything particular you want me to go into, leave a comment. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to see the journey, or to see any of my other videos. Make sure you go check it out. So this has been Vince South Blessed, and I hope that you're having a blessed day.